Hello fellow YouTubers, this is Angela with Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead, and today's video is in part of a collaboration with Jan Simply Homestead in Whatscookin. And so today has been a very dreary, rainy day. It's been raining all night and pretty much all day, and so today I'm going to prepare what I call one of my comfort meals, and it is smothered okra with shrimp. And the ingredients that you will need, of course, is okra, and of course my okra I grew from my garden, some garlic also grown on the homestead, onions as well, some diced or cut up tomatoes, some shrimp, some cayenne pepper, and some sage, and it came from my jar of dried sage, and of course the garlic and the onion I grew. So the only thing that I needed to purchase for this meal would have been the oil that I used to fry the okra to take away the slime, and of course the rice. And so what I've done is I have my oil pretty much ready. It's been heating for a couple of minutes. So the first thing you want to do is to fry your okra. Kind of hard to do it with one hand. And this meal is going to be prepared just for me, so it's a meal for one. Of course, if you are preparing for more than one person, you will of course add more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this to fry. And I'm not going to turn vigorously, because what that will do is it will cause the slime to build up. So what you want to do is allow it to fry, and then after a couple of minutes you would gently turn it over. And I apologize for the lighting. It's really bad lighting here in my kitchen. You don't want it to burn, but at the same time, you don't want to stir too much, because it will become very slimy. And your goal is to remove the slime from the okra. And this will take just a few minutes. And the skillet is on high. I also have my rice in the rice cooker, and it's being made as well at the same time, because I normally eat my smothered okra over rice. And this is a Louisiana meal. I grew up eating my okra smothered or in gumbo, and I've chosen today to use shrimp, but you can as well use chicken or sausage, or a combination of shrimp and crabs, or shrimp and sausage, just whatever you want. It's a great meal, very delicious. This was one of my favorite meals that my mother used to prepare growing up in Louisiana. And I'm only stirring enough so as for it not to burn on the bottom. Just gently moving it around. You can also, if you are preparing okra to freeze and you're going to use it in a soup or gumbo or in a stew, you can also put oil in the bottom of a baking pan, just enough to coat the pan, or you can also use a cooking spray. Place it in the oven for 200 degrees and let it cook for about 40 minutes to an hour, and it removes all of the slime. And then once it's cool, you can just throw it in a Ziploc bag and place it in your freezer. But this okra was harvested all this week, so it's relatively fresh. And so I'm just going to go on now and make me some smothered okra with shrimp. What I'm going to do now is add my chopped onion. And my chopped garlic. I'm going to stir that in and let that brown. Looks like I didn't chop that onion well enough, but oh well. I think I'm going to add my red pepper, my cayenne pepper. Continue to stir this in. The next thing we'll add will be the shrimp. Now I'm going to add some salt. And of course, this is to taste. Kind of scrape the bottom. Just allow that to cook. I've lived in several different places after leaving Louisiana, but I tell you, I always crave my meals that I grew up eating in Louisiana, my gumbo, my red beans and rice, dirty rice, shrimp and crabs and okra. Just gotta have it. Haven't been able to get those little blueback crabs because I love that in this as well, but today it's just going to be shrimp. For some reason, the store where I normally get it, they have not had it for about 6 months. But absolutely love Louisiana food. I'm going to do a little more stirring here and sort of scraping it so that it doesn't burn at the bottom. But as you can see, there's not much slime by doing it this way. And in a few minutes, I'm going to add about a cup or a cup and a half of water. And then I'm going to add the sage and let it cook down. And then once that's cooked down really low, I'll add it to a bed of rice. And also, if you haven't checked out Simply Jan's Homestead, you're missing a real treat. She's a great cook, great homemaker, and they just recently purchased a homestead. And so if you're interested in the stages of getting it to where you want it, for example, of how to start a homestead, please check out her channel. They've built a chicken coop. She also has, what do you call it, those outdoor places where you can store food or what have you. She's just doing a lot of wonderful things on her homestead, and I've been blessed to be able to follow the development of everything going on. So check out her channel. It's Simply Jan's Homestead. I forgot to mention that I will also be adding the tomatoes before I add the water. And one of the reasons why this one is second to last is because, of course, tomatoes also add a lot of water to your meal, and I wanted to make sure that the okra had fried enough to remove the slime. So I just added those tomatoes. And this particular tomato, and I don't remember the name of it because I planted several different varieties because I received a lot of seeds last year through a lot of seed swaps. But it was the largest tomato that I've ever grown, and so I collected the seeds from this tomato so that I could grow this variety again next year. And so while that's cooking, I'm going to get me some water. Oh, the word I was looking for was a cellar. Jan has a cellar that she and her husband have been cleaning out to be able to store food in their underground cellar. Oh, guys, the smell is so wonderful. And I'm going to add the sage now. So proud to say that a lot of the ingredients in this meal I grew on the homestead. That is such a blessing to know that you don't have to buy everything. You know, some things you can grow on your own, and so much more healthier for you. And also it frees up your money to be able to do other things that you need to do with it. if you're not having to buy every single thing. And so at this point, guys, I'm going to add my water. And I'm going to allow this to cook down really low. And as I've stated, once it cooks down, all that water is pretty much gone out of it. It'll be ready, and I will eat it over a bed of rice. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you all have a blessed and safe day. And I appreciate you watching me prepare my smothered okra with shrimp. Have a blessed day. God bless. Bye-bye.